Okay, can you all see the full screen now?
Yes, now it's full screen.
Very good. All right, so just a little reminder that this talk will be recorded. Um, we do this so that others can watch it later. And so you wouldn't like to be in the record, switch off your camera, but we encourage you to ask questions anyway, so that others can benefit from it. All right, so I think we are. It's about time to kick it off. So welcome everyone. This is a presentation of the XPRENEURS incubators. We'll try to give you a glance of what it's all about, what you need to know before applying, what happens during the incubation program, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to answer any question you may have. So first of all, where are we? So we are located at the Munich Urban Collab together with the City of Munich, SUMM corporate partners. That's the startup hotspot now in Munich. So you find us at the Freddie Mercury Strasse on the number 5, third floor. That's us in the office, and there are facilities there to work. We have the desks for the startups over there, but of course we also have the entrepreneurship center in Garching, where you can also enjoy and use the facilities there. So just a little bit of where we are in the Unternehmertum universe, right? That question comes across very often. So where are we? So Unternehmertum has a few different brands and a few different programs. Some of them you're very familiar with, or you are probably in one of them already. So there is the entrepreneurship education sort of a group of brands, the Academy for Innovators, the Digital Product School, Manage and more. There are also the startup programs, startup services that give trainings for people at the university, the Explore program, and then the XPRENEURS Incubator. So we are the incubator within the Unternehmertum universe of activities and brands. We also have innovation for companies such as the Digital Hub Mobility, B5, and of course, we also have the makerspace and cooperations with external parties that help us, bring opportunities to you. One important thing to mention is the initiative for industrial innovators and our own in-house VC, Unternehmertum Venture Capital Partners. So that's it. That's where we are. So we are the incubator of the Unternehmertum. And this is us. This is the team. So Barbara and Christine are the managing partners of the program. Me, Linda, Mariana, and Timo are the venture consultants, the ones that interact directly with the teams, give them one-to-one sessions and coachings, and organize the workshops, the curriculum, and basically the different activities that we run at the XPRENEURS Incubator. And of course, we are supported by the great team, Charlotte, taking care of the marketing and communications. She also gives you advice during the track regarding marketing and communications. And Lee, probably you heard about her already. She's also here in the call, I think. She's also taking care of the scouting and the selection process. So this is us. So if you see us, please say hi. All right. So what's XPRENEURS? So XPRENEURS is an incubator for high-tech startups. So it's a 3-month program, and we support early stage startups on their way from MVP to market. So we help you with 3 core things. 1, validate your business model. 2nd, help you win or help you find your first customers. And 3rd, secure initial investment. So 3 things: make sure your business model works, try to get you closer to your customers, either by introductions or helping you know where you can find them, or helping you know how to leverage the channels that already exist to get them closer to you. And 3rd, get you investor ready. So that's probably the most important one. So you are fundraising, you're about to fundraise, you're about to hit the market, you need the capital to do so. We help you with that. And we have a little announcement to do today. So we actually have new tracks at the XPRENEURS Incubator. So one is the XLab track, which focuses on sort of more oriented to researchers, postdocs, PhDs that are about to take the leap into the entrepreneurial world. And the built environment track, sponsored by a corporate sponsor, in which we accept teams working on the built environment, sort of smart buildings and those sort of technologies. So if you have if you have what it takes to apply to those two tracks, of course, it'll be more beneficial for you to apply to the tracks in particular, rather than the XPRENEURS main track. So a little bit of us, a little bit of our numbers and our track record. So we have incubated 206 startups since we started in 2017. So it's been 5 years, and 74% of the startups incubated by XPRENEURS are still in business. And probably you saw the announcement on social media. So we have finally reached the 1 billion in funding raised by our teams. So those are great news. So we have become the first unicorn incubator in the region, and 70% of our teams receive funding from professional VCs. Right, some of the names you probably already know a few. I've seen them. AirUp, probably most known. In the consumer space is Aerospace, one of our unicorns. Kite, one of our unicorns as well. And in different areas, different industries. So what are the benefits for you? So you get mentorship by Germany's and Europe's most successful tech entrepreneurs. Also C-level executives from companies in the region. Access to our network of VCs and business angels. Access to Makerspace. You get 3 months free access to the Makerspace. Also, we have perks valued $380,000 from different partners that gives us exclusive perks for our XPRENEURS teams, such as cloud credits, the most common ones, Stripe credits for payments, Mixpanel, HubSpot, Microsoft services, etc. You get office space in the brand new Munich Urban Collab, as I introduced at the beginning. So you get a desk there, or a couple of desks for you and your team members to work there. The building has services. You can print. You have meeting rooms. You can receive post, etc. You also get direct access to decision makers. And yes, did I hear? And you get a chance to get a prototyping grant from 1,000 to 5,000 euros during the program. The program is free of charge. We take no equity. And this is pretty much how it's structured. We have a curriculum in which we packed sessions or workshops with experts regarding funding, product development, sales, investor readiness, pitching, how to pitch on stage, how does your investor pitch should look like, investor relations, personal development, legal topics, marketing, leadership, HR, and team. So overall, you get 80 plus hours of workshops. They are not mandatory to attend, but we have them available for you so that in the future, when you need them, that you already had them. So you choose what to attend. We encourage you to attend the most important ones. And next to the workshops, we have 40 plus hours of community events. A lot of socializing and networking comes into the XPRENEURS program because we believe that's when the magic happens. You get to meet the mentors and alumni, laugh in the collab. You get to collaborate with your own team members, the other teams in the XPRENEURS program. You get to interact with investors and business angels directly. We have a lot of opportunities to talk to enterprises also in the region. The program finalizes with the ultimate demo day or the exhibition in the case of the summer track, and then that's it. You also get, as I mentioned, individual coaching from the venture consultants. So that's it. We like funders and teams to develop a trust relationship during the 3-month program and interact with the ecosystem. So it's one of our core sort of values to enrich and foster these relationships. The mentors, we have 250 plus mentors, experts, networkers, speakers, evangelists of certain methodologies. You'll get to meet them. And one of them or 2 of them get assigned to you as a companion during the program. So you get to interact closely with them. Right. So a few of the venture capital funds that are in our network, in case you're already talking to them, we'll also procure to have them close to you during the program, so you get to talk to them as well. And so this is us. This is the teams. I'm actually also part of the XPRENEURS community. I was there with batch 3. Now we are opening the application for batch 13. So 10 batches ago, some were there, but these are other happy faces of founders, successful entrepreneurs that passed through the XPRENEURS program. And with that, now I give the stage to Vanessa from SUMM AI, who will tell you about her experience at the XPRENEURS program. Vanessa, floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Vanessa. As Leo already said, we were in batch 11, so that was almost, I would say, a year ago when we started our journey with applying and everything. So I'm just going to give you a short intro of the way from start to finish of our experience of the program, in case any questions come up during my hopefully not so long speech. Just write them in the chat. Also, if I'm done, you can unmute yourself and just ask questions directly. Yeah, so maybe starting out. So we actually applied, or we actually had to apply 2 times to get into XPRENEURS. So maybe this is the first learning that I can tell you a little bit about. So when we first applied to XPRENEURS, we already had our MVP, our first MVP, but we were very much still in the ideation phase, talking to potential customers, talking to potential users, trying to like really start our first trial phase. And then back then we thought, okay, hey, yeah, we are ready for XPRENEURS. Let's apply to XPRENEURS. But we actually we're still in the phase of doing Explore. So Explore is kind of the program that in the UTUM pipeline you would do before XPRENEURS. So I don't know if you guys know the program Explore, but if you at some point are not sure whether you already meet the requirements that you would need for XPRENEURS, maybe Explore could be a good first step. So that's actually what we did. So we did not get accepted to XPRENEURS, which was a very good decision. So we started out doing Explore. We did a lot of ideation. We did a lot of moving our MVP from different stages. We actually pivoted during Explore to then find our now way that we are doing. So maybe just a short intro about what we do. We are working on building the Google Translate, or DeepL for easy language. So you input a text, click on translate, and then you get an easy version of this in a few seconds. So this is what we're working on right now. So when we then applied for XPRENEURS the second time, we had a fully functional MVP. We had done all of the interviews, ideation stages, and we had our first paying customers in a trial or pilot phase. So I think we had 10 or 15 customers in our phase when we started out with XPRENEURS. So this is, I would say, a good step when starting out with the program. I know there's also spaces for startups, especially if you have like really crazy ideas that need a lot of time to develop and get customers for. There's also the possibility to start the program, but I think for us that was a very good foundation to actually leverage all of the information and input that we got during the program. So this is where we started out, having an MVP in a pilot phase. And then during the program, we were able to move out of this pilot phase, build a product. We did our first iteration of building a system of licenses that we could sell, of acquiring new customers. We started doing marketing. We started building a brand. And we started actually getting first customers to use our tool productively. What we also took away from the program was a lot of information from not only the coaches, but the other startups as well. So Leo showed you guys the space where you can work during the program in the Munich Urban Collab. And I would actually encourage everyone that is in Munich to use this opportunity. So it's a really nice atmosphere, a lot of hardworking people around. There's always someone there that you can also ask for advice. So you can really leverage the community, not only the coaches or experienced people that are around you, but also those who might be in the same area that you are in right now. So there's also always someone who either has the same problem that you have right now or already had that problem and can help you solve it because they've been through it. So this is also a good dimension, I would say, to leverage there. Why XPRENEURS, apart from the other startups that you meet, was a really great program for us, is how the coaching is done. So we've done a few accelerator programs so far, and for a lot of them, the sessions that you have to do, they are mandatory. And they are in big groups. So what was really amazing for us during XPRENEURS is that you can choose which sessions make sense for you right now. So you might be in different stages than other startups in your batch, and that's totally fine. So there might be sessions that you have already gone through that you have like ticked, but then there might be other sessions that are super relevant for you. So having the freedom to choose which are the relevant coachings and sessions for you, that was a really, really great point. And also the option to have a lot of one-on-ones. So you never only had like a session in a big group where you got input and then went out and be like, okay, yeah, nice, I've had that before. Maybe I will do something with the information, maybe not. But you always had the chance to book one-on-ones with the coaches to go through what your startup is actually going through right now and get all of their information more specific, tailored to your case. So that was really, really great. What's also good for us was that we were able to build our team during that phase. So you get the possibility to get information from other startups, how they are doing recruiting. You can also leverage the XPRENEURS channels to find people that might want to work with you. So building the team was good. And also for funding, I think Leo already showed you the slide of all of the VCs that they are in contact with. Having these pitching days really gives you a stage to show yourself, show your startup, and get in touch with amazing people in the community there. Yep. So I think that's a little bit of the different things that we valued the most during the program. And I see that there's already some people in the chat. Maybe there's a question. Nope, I don't think so. Are there any questions? Yeah, I see one there. Hi, I think you're still on mute, Cornelia.
I'm unmuted now, hopefully. Hi, Vanessa. Yeah, it was me writing. I think I saw you at AI Plus Munich, pitching there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so I would be interested in the reasons why they didn't take you when you applied the first time. Because for me, it's kind of interesting to hear how to get in. And at the moment, we also work on a B2C product, and I've heard that sometimes B2B is easier to get in. So
yeah, I don't know, maybe Leo has more insights on that. So we only know that we were not accepted, but like I can maybe do a few words on why we think we were not accepted and why that why that definitely was the right decision. So as I already tried to explain, we weren't very set or defined or confident in the problem solution that we already found. So as I said, we did have an MVP, but we didn't really have any user or customer feedback yet. So we still had a long way to go of actually proving that there is a problem solution fit of any kind. And with our second application, we actually did have that, since we did have a pilot phase. We did have people that said, hey, this is worth something to me, that I really believe that this could be something that would help me in my day-to-day life.
Okay, thanks.
So maybe I can jump in real quick on that. So something that we really wanted to see from our applicants are that they already show some traction, meaning either having some LOEs or some pilot projects with customers. Those doesn't need to be paid. It can also be like unpaid pilots. But yeah, we really want to see that there is like a need for your product and that there are customers willing to pay in the future. It doesn't have to be like right now, but yes, we just need to see some traction. And I think that's maybe also why it didn't work out the first time for some, but I mean, you already worked on that. And also, like, if you want to apply the second time, just show us what you improved since then. Show us how your progress is.
And what about B2C or B2B? Because when I look at your website, I see it's mostly B2B startups that get in.
Also, our focus is more on B2B as we have like more expert and mentors in that area. But on some occasions, we still have B2C startups as well as B2G.
Okay.
Yes, and let me maybe add to this. You know, it's a high incubator, so there are always ways to sort of break through the very highly competitive B2C market. So you have what it takes. You know, you will then be the first startup that goes through XPRENEURS with a B2C idea. I mean, you see there AirUp, right? It's one of our top teams. It's a B2C startup, so there is always a chance. Just show us that you can break through, you know, the highly competitive B2C customer landscape, and then you're in.
Okay.
Okay, maybe then maybe I can answer some of the questions that are in the chat. So is it an in-person program? For us, it was remote. So we had teams that were not in Munich. I think it's probably still the same. Leo, correct me if I'm wrong, or Charlotte.
Yes, so we still offer sort of the hybrid version for most of the workshops. Nevertheless, we encourage you. I mean, some of the experts also giving the workshops are online, so the session is online anyway. But for the networking sessions, for the exchanges with the other teams, the coachings and the one-to-ones, we encourage participation live in the Munich Urban Collab, because that just helps. It's just the interactions are more lively, the feedback gets gathered faster.
Is he only breaking up for me, or?
The Munich Urban Collab. Also, we have free desks for you to use. So live participation, you want to add to them? Can people hear me?
You were a little bit cut off.
Right, so it could be me. There are more questions in the chat, so please go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so how many people were in the team at the beginning? So we were only 3 people full-time, and we had 2 people who were still studying that were working with our team. We grew that, so we were 5 people, I would say. We grew that to 8 people at the end of XPRENEURS, and now we're 9 people with 2 of them full-time, which is awesome. Then how many pilot customers we had when we applied for the second time. So we did a trial phase where we had, I think, 15 customers with us in this trial phase. Yep. Then I think the next question is a question again for you guys. Does it matter if it's B2B2C, B2B, and B2C?
Again, it does not matter, but you need to show us how you are breaking through. What's your path to market? What's your traction? And what's the technology that differentiates you from the rest?
And then Michaela, I think your hand is up. I can't hear you. Can you guys hear?
No, we can't hear. Meanwhile, we read another question. Michaela, feel free to speak up when you're ready. So what's the deadline to apply for the upcoming batch? The deadline is approaching, so apply as soon as possible.
January 22nd.
Is it working now?
A month to go.
Yes, Michaela, I can hear you now.
Oh, perfect. I have a question regarding the traction mentioned before. So we are a hardware-enabled software startup, And we are currently looking for funding to start like the first pilot clients. We have LOEs for those on the B2B side, yes, but we don't have the traction, so to say, because we first need the money to get our hardware produced.
But LOE is fine. So that is also attraction. Or
even if those LOEs are like a year old, because we are at the end of our exist funding.
Yeah, that's fine. Also, if you have excess funding, that's also a way to show us that you have already achieved some traction. So that's fine.
Perfect, thank you.
You might be wondering, so we had teams, you know, with at a very early stage, but also a very good plan and path to market with clear sort of tested demand. It's also important. Right, one more question in the chat. How many pilot customers you had in the second XPRENEURS application, Vanessa?
I think I already answered that.
Okay, right. That's it. Any more questions? Do you also take previous incubators attendance into account extraction? I mean, traction is traction, right? You can incubate and go to as many incubation programs as you want, but when you make it through the market, you make it through. So we prefer real traction. We operate from Lagos, Nigeria, but we're incorporated in Delaware, US. It doesn't really matter, but as I say, we encourage participation in Munich. So if we can help a team that is at the same level and they're here, so we probably select the team here so that they can benefit the most from the mentorship. How long does the startup benefit from the free office space? So that's for the 3 months duration of the program. It might be extended while the other batch starts, but guaranteed 3 months office space. I think depending on the batch size, it's around 2 to 3 desks per team. Ah, very long question. I'll read it later. I believe that this program is not a good fit for mobile apps. Am I right? Yes, online participations.
Leo, you're sometimes muted and then not muted again. So we didn't hear your answers to whether it's a good fit for mobile apps.
Okay, I think Leo has.
Okay, can you hear me now? Sorry, probably I was pressing it too often.
Yeah,
so mobile apps.
You're back.
I'm back. So mobile apps, yeah, it depends a lot on what the app does, right? So a lot of startups have apps to complement their solution. So depends on the app, really. Everything is an app nowadays. Does the incubator allow for online participation? Yes, as I mentioned. Yet we encourage you to come here as we can help you to Munich, as we can help you test. One hands up. Johannes, please.
Hi, thanks. I have a question about environment track. You said something about sustainable buildings. So maybe I can also write on LinkedIn or whatever, but we just create a service to find roommates and like for the whole sharing circular economy thing, that if you share things, it's like a way more sustainable and environmentally friendly track. Is this also involved in your environment thing, if there is a clear roadmap? Because like it's an easy thing. If you do things together, you save 50% of resources. Or is this too easy for the tech side to say it's a sustainable thing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we actually have a dedicated Q&A session for the built environment track. So I encourage you to join that session on the 16th of January. Nevertheless, I can already mention a few things about it. So technologies like computer vision, reality capture, point cloud, IoT, edge computing, digital twin solutions like risk control, mitigation. It's more like sort of for the, yeah, more around the smart building areas. That's what we're looking for there. I would say circular economy is a big topic as well. So we are looking into that. I think for the built environment, we're looking more for yeah, those sort of smart building management. So if your solution relates to that in a way that, you know, interacts with the building somehow, or some tech part of the building, I think that'll be important for us. Right, Boris.
I can't hear you, Boris. I don't know if anyone else can.
Does it work now?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for the insights, Vanessa, and also XPRENEURS team. I have a question to you, Vanessa, first, and also then to XPRENEURS. So were you funded when you applied for XPRENEURS? No,
so we were exist funded, if that counts as some sort of funding, and we're still bootstrapping actually.
Cool.
I think I think we were one of the few teams in our batch, at least. So we were the farthest away, I would say, to starting our funding journey with external funding, and I think we still are, since we're bootstrapping right now. So I think it's also a very valuable program for startups who are not yet fundraising, to get the right contacts, get some information, learn about the process. But I think especially for startups who are looking to fundraise, it's an amazing opportunity to get in contact with so many investors.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. And then more or less the same question to the XPRENEURS team. Does it help if a startup is already pre-seed funded by business angels?
So I think it really of course helps if you have like already some investment that also shows the traction, or the that your technology is validated. But as Vanessa said, it's not a requirement that you have to be funded by that time, or in any kind. So if you don't have any funding before applying, it's also fine, because it's one of our goals to help you find your first investment. But of course, if you have some, it's also interesting for us to see. But mostly only pre-seed stage, as sometimes we take in teams that have seed funding, but they might be a little bit too late considering the stage.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
Okay, so maybe some questions from the chat. Does the incubator allow, no, that we already have, is a video of the team required for applications? And if so, can you describe a little what you expect from the video? So yes, there will be a part where we ask you for a team video, around 2 to 3 minutes, and you just only need to tell about you guys. So we don't want to see a pitch video, but more, how's your team? How did you guys meet each other? And what's your role in the team, just to get you guys a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe some like experience from us. We actually just sat together, the three of us, in front of the laptop, and recorded ourselves in a Zoom meeting. And as Lee said, just talked about our journey, why we each do what we do, how we got together. Yeah.
And also, no, you don't need to record it high quality. Just take your phone. It's fine. Nothing special. Okay, so next question in the chat is, we are a team of Fraunhofer employees and have successfully participated in the ahead phase. Does XLab make sense for us? And are there many advantages to disadvantages compared to the normal track? So considering the tracks, we still have some slides left where we explain the tracks more. So maybe I don't answer the question yet, but we will get to the tracks and the requirements later.
Maybe Quentin, you have your hand raised.
Yes, thanks, Vanessa, and thanks for spending the time. I just wanted to know, so apart from traction, what makes an application stand out? So maybe Vanessa, if you can comment on yours, but I guess it's probably more for the XPRENEURS colleagues.
So yes, it's not only traction that we are looking. Of course, that's very, it shows us that a startup has like some validation, but also we look at the technology and the competitors. So do you have a USP compared to the solutions that your competitors are doing, or what is your USP? And also we look at sometimes at patent, so your IP. Do you have one and how it's protected? And I think Leo, you wanted to edit something?
Yes, I mean, I would say team is probably one of the most important things we consider. So we want committed teams. So if you are like doing like part-time something and thinking about it, definitely a no. But if you are committed to it, I think team stands out. That's why also the video is important, so that you get to know your feet, you have what it takes. And second thing, yes, that you understand the market. So we ask questions about the competitors, right? So you can understand your competitors. That means you can understand the market you're getting into. That means you have a plan. That means you know how to create value and generate revenue from that plan. Yes, I hope that answers the question. I will go quickly through the questions in the chat, and I will take one of the questions with the hand raised, and then we will continue with the slides, I believe, and then we can continue with the questions afterwards. So there was a very long question about the electric vehicle platform. I mean, what are your chances? I think you need to apply. We give you feedback, and I hope that answers also another questions. If you receive feedback, yes, you receive feedback, whether you are at the right stage, and what was the reason why we didn't take you, or we did take you, then you will know why. Are you ready? It's really hard to tell from the one sentence, very long pitch, but the best, I would encourage you to apply, because you will see once you start answering the questions whether you're ready or not. If you have an answer for the questions in the application, that means you're pretty much ready, but you need to stand out from the rest. Then, oops, lots of questions. Does that mean we don't get any funding? That's correct. We don't give you funding directly, but we give you the chance to get the grants from the Initiative for Industrial Innovators. We give you access to all these perks and benefits, the office space, access to a great network of mentors here in the Munich ecosystem. So that's probably one of the greatest benefits. And then, of course, talk to investors. Do you receive any feedback? Yes. How much time we need to dedicate to participate and finish the program? So it's really up to you. As we mentioned, the workshops are optional, but we encourage you to take as many as possible. So as I mentioned, we pack 80+ hours of workshops. So we encourage you to take them all. Nevertheless, you don't have to. So, but we do encourage you also networking events. Is my audio okay? I hope so. So yeah, so at least a couple of dozens of hours you'll have to put into the program. One full-time and one part-time member, that's all right. At least one person should be full-time, so that we consider your team. And also, what are the plans for the part-time member to then finally commit and join? More professional video. Zoom, yeah, you can send a more professional video. Nevertheless, you know, we focus on you and what are you saying about you and your team? How did you guys meet? Feel free to do a fancy production, but we don't need that. Selfie shot from your mobile phone is all we want and need. Can I still work full-time on the product during the program? Of course. We don't want to take any time away from you working on the program. You know, the networking sessions are in the evening, the workshop happen during the day. You can dedicate 1 to 2 hours during the day, but of course the desks are there. You can bring your monitor, you can work. It's a work environment, so we don't want you to stop working on your product. Do you require a patent? We don't require a patent, but of course a patent gives us the confidence that you own the technology and it cannot be replicated and you got the edge. And also, like the question from the Fraunhofer team, please maybe talk about the IP in the application. Freelancers, contract with another company. I mean, if you have full control and ownership over the product, then yes. I mean, we all work with freelancers to speed up the process. Nevertheless, you have to be the owner of the product. Can you explain? Yeah, we'll talk about the X Lab in a bit and the tracks. So with this, I will pause this. Quentin, you have another question?
Yes, I don't know if you're going to touch it, but it's about the application process. So after this deadline, what's happening and what are the timelines?
That's right. So that's what follows now in slides. So I'm going to share my screen again. let me know when you see the slides, and we will continue with the presentation. So I hope you can see them.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Okay, so the application has started 8th of December. We opened it with the closure of the previous batch. The deadline is January 22nd. And then we will have a couple of weeks to evaluate the teams. And then if successful, you will be invited to the pitch. The pitch happens live in the collab. And then the offsite and kickoff event happens in March the 6th and 7th. So that's when the program officially starts. Then we have the incubation program from March the 7th to May 25th, when we have the exhibition we call the closure of the batch started in March. And we have two very important events, the XConnect on March the 22nd and April the 20th, where we have interaction with alumni teams, with investors, and with the mentors. So this is how the timeline of the program looks like for batch 13. So please do apply before January the 22nd. And maybe a little bit more on the criteria. So we already answered a couple of questions, but just to be even more clear, products or services addressing a clear customer problem, value proposition, and uniqueness. Patent protected IP or patent pending, as mentioned, it's a plus. The degree of competition and competitive advantage. So please make sure you understand USPs and how you really stand out from potential competitors. So again, patents are important, and nevertheless, you might have know-how, you might have the advantage of speed into the market. So please do highlight what is your unique proposition that distinguishes you from the competition. The market size, realistic calculations of the total addressable market, etc. And we don't ask that just for you to put something in there, but actually gives us a glance of how well you understand your niche, the market you are addressing, and your potential. So you can inflate that as much as possible, but the more you understand like what part of that market you can service, and you tell us why that is the market you're servicing, that means you understand well the plan and the path to get to market, and that gives us the sense for the scale of potential and the plans to address those markets. So the customer segment well identified, it's also very important. Business model and scalability, again, revenue and pricing models, sales and distribution models. So how are you really going to get into the market? It's very important. Customers, pipeline, again, this is where the LOIs and the customer feedback play also an important role, and a plausible go-to-market strategy. So what are your steps and actions that you're taking to get to where you want to get? Team, no single founders, technical and business-oriented co-founders, full-time commitment, previous experience is a plus, and co-founders try to solve a problem that you're familiar with. Perhaps you come from the industry, perhaps you had that experience with your colleagues. So that's also important and interesting for us. And fit with the XPRENEURS program. So again, topical fit, we have different industries, B2B, B2C, B2G, but that you have some sort of a topic that is high tech, that it's relevant for the problems we're trying to solve altogether. You can see a list of the industries on our website. Coachable team, often seen through the team video and LinkedIn profile. So whether you are here to learn and you can benefit from the program, sometimes we get founders that are truly experienced but humble enough to learn. So we welcome you. And of course, the social and cultural fit, it's important for us. So we want teams that can interact with one another, participate in the networking session and social events. And at the end, we have an evaluator panel and a jury panel, which will have their own judgment and gut feeling for whether you are a good fit for the program and can benefit the most from what we offer at XPRENEURS and on Tenima too. So the application process is highly selective. 257 applications were received for batch 12. We have 33 teams invited to pitch during 3 days, and we selected 17 teams. So Here you can find the link to the application, but also in our website, xpreneurs.io. As I mentioned, it closes on the 22nd of January, and we will select between 15 to 20 startups, and we will have the batch 13 from March to June, and the batch 14 will start in September. So the eligibility criteria already mentioned. Just here a summary. You don't need to be incorporated yet, but you should have a strong intent to fund the company. Right, now a little bit more about the tracks. So with this batch, we opened 2 new tracks. One of them is the X Lab to appeal to laboratory, right? To you researchers, PhDs. We want to empower scientists to transform their research into a high impact company. So this is a little sort of softer version of the XPRENEURS track, but exclusively targeted at scientists across universities and research institutions willing to commercialize high tech. So you must have a team consisting on someone owning this scientific knowledge and technology, and that really wants to take the leap towards entrepreneurship. So we offer a little bit more flexibility through the virtual modules and lower intensity, as I mentioned, than the XPRENEURS track. So we will also foster these teams for a little longer than 3 months, 5 months instead of 3. And you have to have a clear problem solution fit addressing a relatively well-sized market. Nevertheless, we won't put a lot of emphasis here on sort of the market entry or the MVP, because of course high tech coming directly out of the lab requires a little bit more time. A minimum of 2 people with complementary skills, no full-time requirement for these teams. So we offer you a flexible integration into our program, demand-based support for gradual transition from science to business, for example, to develop the IP strategy, customers and funding, and exchange with other entrepreneurial scientists across the research organizations we work with. And it focuses mainly on matchmaking with mentors, investors, and co-founders and talent pools. So yes, so we want to make the venture programs more accessible for scientists. So any scientist or researchers working on some interesting high tech that can have impact in the market, please send them our way. That's right. So we want to help you combine the tech and business expertise with our powerful ecosystem. Right, I think I mentioned this already. So now let's talk a little bit about the XPRENEURS Incubator Built Environment track. So together with Nemetschek Group and our B5 industry initiative at Unternehmertum, we foster startups to disrupt the built environment industry. So as I mentioned, it's powered by Nemetschek, so I encourage you to check them out. And B5, the initiative here at Unternehmertum, to the building world and building bridges between the old and new players in the building industry. So technologies, as I mentioned in the Q&A, in the halfway Q&A, computer vision, cloud, IoT, edge computing, AI, augmented virtual reality for digital twin solutions with emphasis on aggregating and analyzing data from different sources, simulating data on existing buildings, risk control and mitigation, life cycle management. And we're looking for pre-seed or seed stage teams located in the DACH region, France, Nordics, or the UK. So the application phase is open already as well. It closes on February the 3rd. So you will find the application link is actually the same link. Once you are in the XPRENEURS application, you have to select the built environment track, but the application link is the same. So please do apply and check out the link at our website. What do we offer? Access to industry experts in the built environment and decision makers as well that can give you valuable feedback, and we help you with potential customers and potential POC partners, and of course experience and exchanges with like-minded built environment startups, plus the benefits of XPRENEURS such as contact with investors. So the track entry requirements, technologies, as I mentioned, like computer vision, reality capture, point cloud, IoT, edge computing, AI, augmented and virtual reality, that are solving or providing digital twin solutions with emphasis on these points that I already mentioned. So again, pre-seed or seed stage teams located in DACH, France, Nordics, or the UK. So the Nemetschek Group is a vendor of software for architects, engineers, and the construction industry. It develops and distributes software for planning, designing, building, and managing buildings in real estate. So their software is used for over 6 million users all over the world. And B5 is the initiative from Unternehmertum, working with the most innovative corporates and established companies that want to bring these digital changes to standard and established industries. And we also have VCs that invest in the built environment startups, so we also offer that opportunity. Thank you, and now I open the question Q&A again. Any more questions? Maybe let me check the chat. Oof, okay. What kind of traction is essential for the application? I think we already talked about it. So LOIs, plans for pilots, they don't have to be paid. Customer feedback. It's also answered there. The application form says deadline is January 19th at 11:59 p.m. You now say this 22nd of January. Lee, maybe you can elaborate.
Yes, it's the 22nd, and it also should be in the application form. Maybe just a bug and just reload the website again, and I think it should be fine again. But yes, January 22nd is the right date.
All right. What are the requirements for market traction with the XLab track? So for there, we would like you to have talked to at least 1 or 2 customers and what they say about it, and what if there could be something you could implement for them. So that's very important for tech coming fresh out of the lab. That's right. You can get an LOI, a project funding, and an application for a joint grant with an external third party that could also help. We have one question here live. Jan, your hands is raised.
Yes, hi. Thank you very much for the introduction of the additional programs, and was the first time for me to hear about this additional programs. So is it possible to apply for 2 programs, or will you decide then, or I apply for XPRENEURS and then you decide, okay, maybe not XPRENEURS, but maybe the other program fits better, or how to handle that? Because I find it slightly difficult to decide there.
Barbara.
Yes, hi. So you in the beginning select a track, and if you're not sure if it's the right track, you can also comment that both tracks would be suitable for you, and then we decide and have a look and check out latest at the pitch stage to see where it fits. And in the pitching stage, if we invite you to the pitching days, then we can also discuss in the Q&A round which track would fit best. But do you have a specific question to decide which track could be more suitable for you?
Okay, so basically you're saying I'm doing that into the comments section, and then it's decided, because yeah, we would fulfill a lot of both tracks, and yeah, so I'm just putting that into the comments, and then I'll see.
Exactly. So for example, if you're not full-time founders yet, then XLab would make more sense. Or also if you say, for example, you're still partly employed as a research institute, have some obligations there, and might not have as much time for the intense 3-month program, then the 5-month XLab track would make more sense. Or if you have a lot of IP topics, for example, that's one of the focus areas of the XLab track, then this would be perfect. If you say, no, we're actually out of the research institute completely, we want to go all in and really push through for 3 months, then the regular track would be better.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Also bear in mind, for example, for the built environment track, there'll be different evaluators, right? So, right. Okay, so more questions. What should a good demo include? Well, if you have a website, if you have an app prototype, show it to us. We want to see what's the product, how a user would interact with it. So I think that's the best demo. Think about us as users. Does it make sense to apply if you are already in contact with the Venture Lab build? Absolutely. Actually, encourage, if you are a Venture Lab team, please come to us. That's the whole goal, to get as many Venture Lab teams as possible as well. If you are not in contact with the Venture Lab and you think you might be a good fit, check out the XPRENEURS website. There are the Venture Labs there mentioned. If you think you fit in one of them, please do get in contact with them. It's also good for us that you are in contact with the Venture Lab teams. Fix now, is it possible to participate in the same networking events in presence in XLab as in the normal track? Yes, actually, there will be the same events, particularly the networking events. So live participation for XLab is also encouraged there. Hand is up, Robert.
Hi, thanks. So if you are part of the Venture Labs, should you specify that somehow? Are you going to check that anyway?
Take it if you want, Leo. There should be a question in the application form that asks you whether you have a TUM connection and which domain you are. And by that, we are also trying to figure out if you are a Venture Lab team.
Yeah.
But you can also write it at the end where we ask how you got in touch with us. There's also one, I think you can also mention Venture Labs people.
Okay, yeah, I checked all the Venture Labs that we're in contact with. Thanks.
And also, if you are in the Venture Labs, you can ask the managing director to get a nomination. If you're nominated by one of the Venture Labs, then you get fast track into the pitching rounds. So you
That's
can also
a very nice input. Thank you very much.
Hi, thank you all. Thank you, Vanessa. She just had to leave. I think we have reached the end of the time for this call. If you do have, but I think with this we will close the. Am I still there? I hope I'm still.
Yeah,
connected.
you're still there.
All right. So if there are no urgent pressing questions for now, I would say please do apply. And if you have any questions during the application, there's an email there. You can contact us and ask. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions. So yeah, good luck everyone with your application. Please spread the word.